In the beginning, before the creation of the world, there existed a celestial being of dazzling light, whose power and beauty surpassed even that of the angels closest to God. This being, known as Lucifer, was considered the brightest, the most perfect. But how could such a pure and glorious entity fall so deeply into darkness? What happened in the heavenly realm that Lucifer, the angel of light, became the symbol of evil, the fallen angel? The story of Lucifer, the fall and rebellion in heaven, is a tale as old as humanity itself, but also one filled with shadows, incomplete, and ambiguous. We have been told that his fall was a manifestation of pride and disobedience, an act of rebellion against God's divine power. However, is this the whole truth? Was Lucifer simply an angel who disobeyed divine laws out of pride, or is there something more behind his fall? Throughout the centuries, we have heard the most familiar versions of his story. The biblical account in the Old Testament and the famous passage in Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15 tell us of an angel who defied God, wanting to ascend higher than the Creator himself, seeking to be the supreme being. But why would Lucifer want to rebel against his Creator if he possessed perfect beauty and incalculable power? What led him to disobedience? Little is mentioned about Lucifer's true motivations. In apocryphal texts and ancient scriptures of pre-Christian mythologies, we find clues that this angel's fall was not a simple display of pride, but the beginning of a much larger cosmic battle, the struggle for free will versus divine authority. Did Lucifer really fall by defying God, or was his fall part of a much more complex story about the nature of good and evil? As we continue to unravel the secrets of this story, we begin to see that what we have been taught is only a small part of the truth. The figure of Lucifer is more than the representation of evil. He is a being full of contradictions, whose story is woven with unanswered questions, and each layer we uncover leaves us more perplexed. As we delve deeper into the figure of Lucifer, we are faced with more questions than answers. The story we have been told about his fall has been simplified and reduced to a conflict of pride and rebellion. But could there be more to his story than simply a desire for more power? In many traditions, Lucifer is not only the enemy of God, but also a symbol of something deeper: the struggle between divine order and free will. Apocryphal texts and ancient legends show us a different version of his fall. According to some interpretations, Lucifer was not simply an angel who rebelled against God's authority, but a being who challenged a closed divine system, seeking not only power but also freedom. Lucifer's fall, in this context, is not simply an act of disobedience, but an act of cosmic revolution, a desire to break the chains of a pre-established divine order. In Mesopotamian mythology, we find stories about angels who, like Lucifer, questioned heavenly rules. The figure of Lucifer is often associated with the ancient gods who defied fate and sought autonomy over their own destiny. Indeed, some traditions present Lucifer's rebellion as a reflection of the desire to have the power to choose his own path, outside the rules of an absolute God. Here, the fall is presented not as a simple act of pride, but as an assertion of the right to autonomy. But if Lucifer desired freedom, what does his fall really imply for cosmic balance? In the scriptures, Lucifer is said to have been stripped of his power and cast into darkness, where he became the leader of the fallen, the angels who followed him in his rebellion. However, the question remains: was Lucifer truly punished, or was he freed from the restrictions of a divine order he perceived as oppressive? Could it be that his fall was a necessary catalyst for the universe to break free from the rigidity of absolute control? As we progress, we discover that Lucifer's story is steeped in philosophical dilemmas that invite us to reflect on good, evil, and freedom. Lucifer's story is not simply a tale of a being who fell into sin, but an enigma that challenges traditional interpretations of destiny, free will, and divine purpose. Each fragment we uncover only seems to deepen the mystery. As we delve deeper into Lucifer's story, we discover that his fall could have been much more than a simple act of disobedience. Sacred and apocryphal texts offer various interpretations of his rebellion, but they all seem to agree on one fundamental point. Lucifer was not just a fallen angel, but a being who represented a cosmic force capable of challenging divine authority, which could have been seen as oppressive or limiting. But how is his rebellion interpreted within the concepts of freedom and choice? As we explore ancient mythologies and philosophical theories, we encounter a Lucifer who not only represented evil, but also a challenge to a rigid divine order. In the Old Testament, we see Lucifer as an angel who longed to ascend beyond his heavenly status. According to Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15, his pride led him to say, "I will ascend to heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God." But was this truly an act of arrogance, or was it a desire to seek something deeper? Personal autonomy? Greek mythology also offers intriguing analogies. Like Prometheus, who challenged Zeus to gift fire to humanity, Lucifer may have been seeking to give created beings higher power or simply to allow them free will, a capacity that not even angels seem to fully possess. Perhaps Lucifer not only sought to be more than God, but also wished to offer an alternative to the divine order, a new perspective of freedom for the beings who inhabited that universe. On the other hand, could it have been that Lucifer's fall, far from being an eternal punishment, represented a cosmic transformation of his role within the universe? In the more traditional view, we have been taught that Lucifer was punished and condemned to hell. But if we look at it from a different perspective, perhaps his descent was not a loss, but a transition to a new purpose. To become the bearer of light, the one who challenges absolute power, representing the light that comes from darkness. The fall of Lucifer is a profound mystery, full of nuances and contradictions, challenging our understanding of morality, power, and freedom. Did he truly fall out of pride, or was he fighting for a necessary change in the divine order? The truth seems to be more complex than any traditional narrative has told us. As we approach the end of this journey of discovery, Lucifer's story continues to reveal secrets that go beyond his simple fall. What at first seems like a tale of rebellion and punishment becomes a story of cosmic transformation and a clash of principles. The question remains, who was Lucifer really? A fallen angel condemned for his disobedience, or a conscious being who challenged a divine system to bring a new perspective on freedom and destiny? The fall of Lucifer can be seen as the beginning of a new spiritual era. The transition from an absolute divine order to one where autonomy, free will, and self-determination begin to take center stage. In the stories we've explored, Lucifer is not only an evil being, but also a symbol of the struggle for freedom and the necessary rebellion against a fixed order that allows no change. This clash between personal freedom and absolute authority could be the beginning of a deeper understanding of how the universe itself is structured. But one question still haunts us. If Lucifer was truly the bearer of light, is it possible that his fall was ultimately a necessary sacrifice so that humanity could have the freedom to choose its destiny? Or was it simply an act of pride and betrayal? Throughout this documentary, we've seen how different religious and mythological interpretations offer us a more complex view of this celestial being. The narrative of Lucifer as an exclusively evil being begins to crumble in the face of a broader vision that presents him as a being who defied the rigidity of a divine system to allow for the expansion and evolution of the universe. What is clear is that Lucifer's story is not about a simple antagonist of good. His figure represents the cosmic struggle for balance, for the right to choose, and for the ability to question even the most sacred. The fall of Lucifer is a fascinating mystery, a cosmic puzzle that invites reflection on the destiny of good and evil, freedom and power. If this journey has left you thinking, I invite you to subscribe to the channel to continue exploring these and other profound mysteries about spirituality and the most complex figures in history. Don't forget to like this content if you found it interesting and share it with those who also wish to discover more about the hidden history of Lucifer and other fascinating topics. Together, we can continue to unveil the layers of truth and knowledge. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you in the next video.